It seems that there's all kinds of drama between Teofimo Lopez and Keyshawn Davis. And Teofimo Lopez has stated before that he will not fight Keyshawn Davis until Keyshawn Davis gets a belt. And he stated this after the post-fight Jermaine Ortiz interview. But now it seems that Teofimo Lopez changed his mind and changed his tune. He says that he will fight Keyshawn Davis, but only under certain conditions. And when Teo told Keyshawn Davis the conditions, Keyshawn Davis accepted. And this is the topic that we are going to be talking about next. But before we get into that, if you guys are not subscribed, please punch and knock out that subscription button. That way you'll never see it again. And ding the notification bell. That way you never miss any of my new boxing videos. Alright guys, let's get to the round. Ding, ding. Okay champs, let's get started. Okay champs, so the whole boxing world has been talking about how Keyshawn Davis knocked out Teofimo Lopez Sr. and Teofimo Lopez just sat there and watched. But Teofimo Lopez Sr. actually came out and clarified all of this to be false. He came out on Punch Drunk Boxing. He stated that it was not Keyshawn Davis who tried to knock him out. It was actually Coach K who tried to knock him out, but he was not able to knock him out. But at some point, we all thought this was true because actually Shakur Stevenson had tweeted it to be true. But Teofimo Lopez Sr. came out and stated that what Shakur Stevenson said, it was a lie. And Shakur Stevenson actually made Keyshawn Davis look like a chump. What kind of a man brags about knocking out an older man? Especially an older man who does not know how to fight. And Keyshawn Davis is a silver Olympian. That guy is a walking, breathing weapon. You can actually kill somebody. And also, Shakur Stevenson has stated that Keyshawn Davis was actually winning that sparring session. But this was also a lie because Teofimo Lopez Sr. stated that it was actually Teofimo Lopez Jr. who dropped Keyshawn Davis in the 4th round and buckled him. They stated that they almost knocked him out. So if Shakur Stevenson lied about all of this, maybe he's lying about the performance versus Edwin de los Santos. Hey, I want to see that doctor's note. To me, Shakur Stevenson is like the boy who cried wolf, kind of like Ryan Garcia. When Ryan Garcia said he was going to let his fans choose who he should fight next between Rolly and Devin Haney, he said he was going to do everything in his power to make that fight happen, and the fans chose Devin Haney. But as we all know, Mayweather had convinced Ryan Garcia to pull out of the Devin Haney fight. Now that is a smaller lie than what Shakur Stevenson has said. Shakur Stevenson just lied about the whole situation, but that's neither here or there. So as we all know, Keyshawn Davis is not that accomplished yet. He only has around 10 fights. And he actually lost twice to Andy Cruz in the amateurs, making him a silver medalist. So Keyshawn Davis is not a big name yet to the casual fans, but to the hardcore boxing fans, he is a pretty big name. So we're in a time right now, to make a big fight, you would have to sell the fight to the casual fans so they could buy the pay-per-view as well. Because I'm sure the hardcore boxing fans will buy the pay-per-view because of all their backstory. And they do have something to build it off of. And if promoted right, this will be a big fight. Because look at Rolly Romero and Tank Davis. Rolly wasn't a big star yet and he only had like 13 or 14 fights. And they were able to make that fight pretty big. And Teofimo Lopez, we all know he's always all over with his comments. And Keyshawn Davis seems more laid back, but it seems that he will say something if you tell him something first. So I'm sure they will build it off of their old sparring session and maybe even the dad getting beat up as well. So it seems that Teofimo Lopez had changed his mind and he will fight Keyshawn Davis, but only on his terms. He said he will only fight him if the fight takes place in Honduras. And Keyshawn Davis stated that yes, he will go to Honduras. So Teofimo Lopez posted this, and I quote, "I have more to lose than gain trying to show my gangsta outside of the ring. If you believe you can beat me, then where I place my next fight shouldn't have to concern you. I thought when you believe you can beat somebody, the fight doesn't matter where it takes place," and says these fighters have no confidence anymore. And Keyshawn stated, "If you want to make it in Honduras, we can make it in Honduras. Just send the contract." And Keyshawn Davis also says he is not clout chasing, he is serious about this fight. And Keyshawn Davis also stated that it was actually Teofimo Lopez that told Keyshawn Davis that he is one of the very few fighters who will fight anyone. He told him this at the top rank office. And Teofimo Lopez also told Keyshawn Davis not to call him out after the Pedraza fight. But Keyshawn Davis did the opposite, and that was actually the first thing he did at the post-fight interview. He called out Teofimo Lopez after he knocked out Pedraza. And we all know Keyshawn Davis fights at 135 and Teofimo Lopez fights at 140, but he said he is willing to go up to 140 to face Teofimo. There should be more fighters like Teofimo Lopez and Keyshawn Davis. To me, these are throwback fighters. Keyshawn Davis only has 10 fights and he already wants to fight Teofimo Lopez. That's a throwback fighter. And Teofimo Lopez challenged Lomachenko on only his 13 or 14 fight. Now that's a throwback fighter as well. And we also got Devin Haney versus Ryan Garcia. And these guys did not let these fights marinate. They're gonna fight the best at their best. If all the top guys will follow suit, they will change boxing for the best, and they will make boxing the #1 sport in the world again. If all the best fought the best all the time, it will definitely change the rankings. It will definitely separate the champions from the great fighters, and it will definitely separate the great fighters from the special fighters. And I also believe most fighters will not be undefeated. They will have a few losses. Even the special fighters will have a few losses, since all the best will be fighting the best at their best. I believe Sugar Ray Robinson is the greatest fighter ever. To me, Sugar Ray Robinson is the #1 pound-for-pound fighter of all time from any weight class. And Sugar Ray Robinson had 19 losses. And I believe he had like 180 wins, and he never lost a rematch. He went all the way from lightweight to light heavyweight, and he boxed at a time where there wasn't any light or super titles. If there was, he would have a lot more belts than he did. I wish they will bring back the sport the way it was before, when no one ducked anybody and you had to fight your mandatory no matter what. But thank God we got Teofimo Lopez, Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, and Keyshawn Davis. If you guys like the show, share the video, like the video, subscribe, and that's it for me, champs. I gotta roll.